So this is my new farm truck. Got an 85 Chevy Silverado C10 long bed. It's got a 350 crate motor in it with a 400 automatic transmission. Done a few things to it since I've had it. Had it for about a month now. Replaced the spoiler at the bottom. It had a crack in it. I made the license plate, and I put 23 karat gold leaf on the bow tie and painted the black around the edges. Still need to kind of do something with this one here. It's kind of got some spots. I'd rather that be a little bit smoother. I did a new side marker lights. They were just a little dulled out, little yellow. The guy had just put new tires on it, new aluminum radiator, and new inner fenders. Let's see, what else did he do? And some weather stripping. But I put the Rancho shocks on all the way around. Just finished up the molding, side trim molding. Still might need to work out some body lines as far as getting things a bit more level, but I did the correct measurement, which one video from LMC Truck said go 13 inches down from this top body line to the bottom of the molding, and it ended up looking a little low to me. So I did some more research, and we went with just kind of looking at different ones that said go 1.5 inches up from here. So did that, and then just going off of what other things look like, that looked to be right. So got that on, but yeah, that door might need to be adjusted up a little bit. Kind of fixed up on the Silverado here. It was all kind of just like a dulled out silver, not bright. So I painted the black all around the inside and around the edges. And then I put silver leaf over top. Still got a little spot I need to touch up, but that looks a lot better. Let's see, on the inside, I put the seat cover on. Just a small tear in the seat, cloth seat there. Got the floor mat that goes all the way across. I think that's all I've done on the inside. Let's see. Come out. I put the toolbox on. We've got new rear leaf springs, heavy duty. Put those on. Like I said, the Rancho shocks all the way around. And it does have dual exhaust, but it's still got the Cadillac converter. So I'll probably end up getting some headers later on and changing all that out. The bed, I sanded, didn't have much rust at all, just some surface rust. So I sanded all that, sprayed the Raptor liner in, and that looks pretty good. Put new tail lights on. That made a big difference. The old ones were dulled and kind of scratched up pretty good. Eventually I'll get in here and clean all this and just probably hand brush paint that some black, Rust-Oleum black or something. But the bedliner looks really nice. Let's see what else. This was kind of rusted, so cleaned that up, painted that black. Changed the rear end gasket and oil and put a new chrome cover on. So that looks pretty cool from afar. This back trim I've still got to put my new on. That one's coming off. But I had left it up just to kind of get an idea of where this should be. So get that taken off, put the new on, and that'll look better. This side, you can kind of see how far the body line is off. That's due to the cab mount. So I bought new cab mounts, but you got to cut holes in the floor to get to the top nut that's spinning. So that's going to be a little bit of a job. There's a couple of layers of metal that you've got to cut through and kind of peel up, and then do what you got to do, and then get those laid back down and maybe tack weld them back in. But overall, pretty cool truck. This was nice. So it had that sticker there. Remember when I test drove it, I looked over and saw that, and I was like, yep. I had my Dale Earnhardt hat on, so I was like, that's me. But yeah, nice truck. I think the ad said needs paint. Doesn't need paint for a farm truck, but I'm definitely driving it. I'll drive it to work some and just around, go to the store or whatever. So happy with the truck. Just took the old spoiler off. Had a couple of bolts that rang off, so they were rusty bolts, and had to try to cut one off and finally got it off. But that's the old spoiler. Looks like it got pulled out there in the middle. Just cracked and didn't look good. So got the new one from LMC truck. Getting ready to bolt it on with some new bolts. I've touched up on the bow tie, put some 23 karat gold leaf on. Next step is to do the pin striping, black in between there, and we'll make that front end look a little bit better than it did. Yeah, a little before video before I replaced the rear leaf springs and front and rear shocks. I'm gonna go with the Rancho shocks. Figured just from the research I've been doing, looks like they're good for roads like this where you have a lot of those little quick short bumps. So I'm going to freshen up the suspension on the 85 C10 long bed. So me and Copper just going around kind of doing a little before, try to see if we can tell a good difference once we get that suspension on. I think we got a couple of hurricanes coming this way, so starting tomorrow probably gonna have a good amount of rain here and there. So I figured once I get everything in, we might have this in the shop. We'll be working on it. Chance to get out, take a cruise around. But yeah, excited about my farm truck, that's for sure. Cleaned up a little too good for a farm truck, but I can still use it around here. Put tags on it, so I am going to drive it. So I've been driving it back and forth to work a little bit. Just kind of be able to use it as farm truck and a little bit of a driver here and there. Yeah, runs good. It's got a 350 crate engine, good wrench crate engine. 400 automatic transmission. Done a few little things to it so far, but got the Rancho shocks in, front and back. Getting ready to put those on. Gonna get started with the project. Don't have the leaf springs in yet, but gonna go ahead and I'll get started with everything. Okay, driver's side, we're at just under 22 and a quarter.
22 and a quarter?
Yeah, probably more like 22 and 3/8. At 22 and 1 above the half, so 22 and 9/16. Old shocks. Do what?
Measure it.
I did when I ordered those other ones.
Well, did you compare it with new ones?
Yeah.
See if we can just get
It was pretty
straight
much
on.
exact. I'll remeasure, but yep. These are the old ones. Getting ready to get these off. So for the rear shocks, we're having to put the correct sleeve in, which at first glance looks impossible. But a little bit of grease, and Sean kind of popped it in there, and then we're using the vise to press it. Alright, back up, we're getting, and then using a socket there to get the sleeve all the way through. That worked pretty good. Yep. That's the difference. This one's still going. Look. There we are lined up. Still going. Yeah, it's time for some new shots. I don't even know what bringing this in. Look, still going. Still going. Getting heavy. New shocks. So we got about 5 washers on the bolt, and now I'm going to try to pull it by tightening that nut. Cut the head off of the bolt here, and see if we can use any. Woo, there it is. That's the rest of the washer. So it is pulling it. A little trick Sean looked up. We've been using the Sawzall, cutting all sorts of stuff. Yep. Light, make it light. Moving out. Crazy. Gosh.
That was a pretty good trick.
So we use the Sawzall. I use it up front on that front piece, cut the inside of it. Sean cut the head of the bolt off. This one wouldn't break loose.
Show you a better trick.
Yeah, that's working for us. Very cool trick.
That's a washer.
More washers? 3 more. Look at that trick.
Hot nut. Hot nut.
Hot. probably the back. See if this old Diablo blade's got another one in it. Cut the bracket. Smells like we're at the drag strip. Burning rubber. Alright, got that one off, and now we'll try the washer trick. We'll pull that bolt out of there. Then I got the shackles coming tomorrow. They were supposed to be here today, but they weren't. So, try to get the leaf spring on, get the shackles put on tomorrow, and I still need to put some oil in the rear end. Alright, so getting the trim figured out. Ended up moving it up about a ½ inch, so we're not at 13 inches, we're at 12.5 inches down from the body line here. So tried to pull a piece of tape there and get it right at the curve of that body line. Measured down 12.5. Let's see, actually easiest way was to make this template. So I cut this piece of paper, and after I got that line straight, you could just put this, tape it, and I could go down, do a little small piece of tape, have some markers, and then pulled that longer line. Although, see how the body lines at the top don't line up, that's due to the body mounts, and I did order those and get those in, but you got to cut holes in the floor to get to the nut that is spinning. So I don't know why they engineered it like that, but that's going to be a bit of a job. Probably all four. I know at least the two on this side are spinning, so that means I would have to cut the holes to get to them. So probably do it eventually, but I wanted to go ahead and get the molding on. So from each body line, I had to measure down and go off of that. Couldn't just pull one straight line, because then once you do fix that stuff, then your molding would be off, and it actually wouldn't look good even if it was straight, and then you kind of notice that the body lines are off. So haven't stuck that side yet, and I did buy I think it was a 32-foot roll. Added this third piece of tape in the middle, so the 3M tape, just to help it to stick. Saw a video where a guy did that, so thought that was a good idea, just to make sure everything stays. So I do have this side mostly done. Everything's looking pretty good. Looks nice and straight. Had to make sure you have enough gap right here for the door to open. So that has to tuck in right there without hitting. So it just does. And the door is sagging just a little bit. You can see from the body line down there. So that's why that part right there looks a little off. So I'll probably try to get that adjusted up, and this side will look pretty straight. Body lines look a little straighter. This side of the cab isn't sagging as much as the other. So got that part. But yeah, I changed from the 13-inch to the 12.5 after doing some more research and looking. They said about that the bottom of this molding should be about 1.5 inches up from the bottom of that gas tank door. So after looking at some videos, pictures of other C10s and stuff, kind of got a feel for where that should be, and I did go 1.5 inches up, and I think that looks good. So that ended up being, like I say, 12.5 inches from the top of my body line. And then over here towards the back, this will taper up to about 12 when it wraps around tail light. So probably wait on that because I'll need a little bit of help to hold it and help make sure I wrap this straight and it doesn't curve. Then I'll take this old piece off. It's already kind of falling off, so get that old piece off. I have to clean all the adhesive and then can cut a piece to go there. So pretty happy with how it's turning out. I think it's going to look good once I can get it all done and then get that tape off. I think the long beds especially look good. Kind of, it almost makes it look a little bit longer. Just having that kind of break there, and that is original type. It's not original molding, of course, but that's what came on the Silverado. So figured put that back on there. Just did the silver leaf on this side of the Silverado emblem, so emblem was all kind of dulled out. I went in and painted black all around where it's supposed to be black and on the inside, and then laid a silver leaf down. There's a couple of spots where it didn't stick, but it's tacky enough right now because I just put a sealer on it that I can probably get a couple of scrap pieces and get them to stick and then seal over that again. But just doing that like really helps just the overall look of it. So yeah, that's probably all I'll do as far as overall appearance of it right now. But yeah, happy with the molding so far. So, doing a little test drive after we got the shocks and new springs put on. So Rancho shocks all the way around and new rear heavy duty leaf springs. Oh, ride's good. Copper's happy.